Hey, it's Matt Roush,
And Mike Brennan.
and we're back with another fun-filled episode of the M Squared TechCast. So we've got a good show for you today, a lot of interesting guests, and we're going to kick things off with Kerry Ebersole. Kerry, why don't you give folks your title and affiliation and what role you fill?
Sure. I'm the director of the 60 by 30 office for labor and economic opportunity with the state of Michigan. And this is my second week on the job. So we're going to have a lot of fun during this discussion. So.
Okay. So let's start off with that. I was reading your notes here just before we came on air, and I was not familiar with the 60 for 30 program. That's a good place to start. Why don't we start there?
Sure. So this is something the governor set forth in our first State of the State address, and that is to seek attainment, an educational attainment goal of 60% of our working population by the year 2030. And there's a lot of reasons why that goal is important. One of which is individuals' prosperity, our state's economic competitiveness, all are attached to our education attainment. So it's a really critical piece for our economy and the health of our state. And that's what we're going to work on.
And the current stats are, I'll let you explain it. We're not at what you're going for is 60% of the state's population having a post-high school degree or technical degree or something along those lines. Where are we on that spectrum now?
We're about at 48%. Okay, so we got to make up 12% over the next several years. And I got to tell you, there's some really interesting statistics out there when you look at other states, remarkably states in the South that have started to surpass us because they have a number of important programs like the Reconnect program, which you may have also heard us talk about from the state of Michigan, as well as the Futures for Frontliners work that was announced just last week.
Well, we can't have them Rebs passing us on anything now, can we? So,
well, like I say, the bluegrass state is a beautiful state, but I'm a competitive girl, and I want to make sure my home state is at the cutting edge, and that's what we're going to do.
All right,
and obviously we're not just talking traditional four-year college degrees either, right? That's I think a little bit less than 30% of the people in Michigan possess those.
Yes, exactly. This is about high school diploma completion. That is about associate's degrees and bachelor's, as well as apprenticeships and certificate programs. So it's wide ranging because we have in-demand jobs, as you all know, across the state that vary a little bit by region, but we want to prepare our workforce for those positions.
Okay, and let's kind of get into the program, which is Futures for Frontliners. I'll make sure I said that right. And it was announced, I believe, on Thursday. But why don't you go into some details on that?
Sure. And this really, the premise of this all is not only some of the pieces we've already talked about, but the reality of what our state has gone through since we've been facing the pandemic. And that is, we've had a number of folks that have worked to keep hospitals running, manufacturing, and delivering ventilators and masks, keeping the electricity flowing and beyond. And this is a simple way to not only say thank you for all that work in the front lines, but also to offer a pathway towards an educational journey and improving their skills and preparing for the next job. So again, this is something that we're going to provide free tuition to those that are Michigan residents that worked 11 of 13 weeks from April through June, and were required to go outside of the home. That's what we're deeming as essential workers. That's who is eligible to apply for this program and enroll as soon as January of 2021.
And it's not open to people who already have associate's degrees or bachelor's degrees. You know, these are people that have no beyond high school degrees, right?
Correct. Or no high school diploma completion. So they are also eligible to this.
Okay.
And where can they use these tuition credits?
Michigan community colleges around the state. We want them to first and foremost for their local community college to look at programs there. That does not preclude them from going out of district to another community college if they so deem.
I think what Matt was also driving at is he's the news director for Lawrence Tech, and so like a 4-year school like Lawrence Tech, would they be eligible, or people be eligible to attend there, or not?
Right now, we're focused on those community colleges. They are partnered.
All right.
Well, we've got articulation agreements with just about all of them. So if people want to start there, that's fine with us.
Yeah. This is really developing the pipeline, right? And I think our focus is not only, especially with folks that have yet to achieve their high school diploma, we want to support them through that end, but then also forward and seeking additional skills and training or the associate's degree at their local community college.
Now, are there any particular fields of study that you're emphasizing here, or is this just open to whatever anyone might want to take?
Well, this is open, but we want to make sure folks are informed about the in-demand jobs on the end of this, okay? There are a number of jobs every year that go unfilled, and we want to make sure that this is working for our business community as well, that they are getting the skilled workforce they need to be successful. So we've been working with our Michigan Works offices across the state to, gain what within their regions are in-demand jobs. I can tell you from across the state, it ranges from automotive service excellence certification to HAVAC certification and nursing and other health professionals. So it's pretty wide spanning, but we want to make sure that this is a pathway, not just a start and end, but there's a continuation piece. And we want to really connect the opportunities back to the skills and training that those folks need.
Well, even in the technology space, I'm in Ann Arbor, of course, this is a big 4-year school here, but a lot of those folks—
I won't hold that against you, I'm a Spartan.
Okay, all right. Well, the governor is
right.
So, but we give her a pass on that.
So's my daughter. She converted me. So yeah.
So anyway, here, when you get a computer science degree, it's a 4-year degree, and often what happens by the time you get to graduate, what you learned in your freshman year is almost obsolete. So I know there's a lot of really good technical programs out there where 6 months or a year, and you can be up and running and making pretty good money and filling these jobs that are in desperate need right now, right?
Absolutely. And we have another skills to work online portal really that can help connect you to upgrade or upskill some of those items. So I would encourage anyone to go to the LEO website, michigan.gov/LEO, to learn more about the skills to work program.
Matt?
All right. So basically, there's also a skilled trade shortage, right? Are you going to address that with this program as well?
Yeah, a number of those certificates will also we'll be providing support to obtain those certificates. Again, this is about preparing our workforce and for jobs that are on the other side of that. So, one of our biggest goals right now is to ensure that we have the right coalition that's built. That's our business community. We need them at the table. We need to make sure that we are developing the talent they need to be successful. 2 is our educational community and making this a spectrum of developing workers and long-term educational attainment, as well as government. There is a role for government, obviously, and that is not only from our elected leaders seeing leadership, not only at the state level, but in our local areas around the state, and ensuring that we're gearing all that we can from a state perspective to help support this. And that's where you get a number of the programs, Future For Frontliners being the most recent. We are within a budget process here in the legislature on the Reconnect program that would be universal, free community college to anyone over the age of 25. My opportunity that gets to those kids just graduating high school to get access to the community college. But again, this isn't just about the community college. We want to support attainment further into post-secondary for those 4-year degrees as well. So it's really an exciting time, and it's an all hands on deck piece, because this is about our economic competitiveness. We just can't have that bluegrass state, edging us out in any rankings whatsoever.
So is this modeled after what they're doing in Kentucky? I mean, is there a white, best practice kind of thing that you're looking at out there that you model it after?
You're exactly right, Michael, because we have Kentucky and Tennessee. They are two of the states that are really cutting edge. They're picking up pace on us. Tennessee's now nipping on our toes as well as it looks at post-secondary attainment. We've taken a look at what they've done and why they are increasing their rates so significantly, and it's essentially these programs, and that's why we got to get them up. We got to get them funded, up and running, and luckily the Futures for Frontliners are federal dollars we've been able to access through the CARES Act and mobilize them to help support our workforce.
So how much money is available through the CARES Act for this program?
I believe it's 23 or 24 million. Okay. And again, yes.
That'll go a long way at the community college level, because the tuition's pretty reasonable there. So it should.
And the only thing is we are in a bit of a time crunch, because we need folks to apply by December 31st. So that's the other piece. Okay. There's a timeline piece. And folks have to, eligible folks need to apply with the Department of Treasury here at the state of Michigan for this tuition-free support. And then also they have to be accepted by their community college and enroll. They have to enroll in 2021 to secure those funds.
That's a lot of hurdles to jump over in 3.5 months.
Don't you worry, we're going to have some navigators and community outreach to make sure that these applicants have the information they need to go to the next step.
All right, we're into our last minute on this segment. So why don't you give all that contact information one more time? Where do people start the process?
So yes, you can go to michigan.gov/frontliners. All the information you need for the Futures for Frontliners program can be found there, as well as a link to where you apply. And that should be a one-stop access point for you to get additional background and frequently asked questions as well if there's anything we didn't cover here today.
Traditional four-year students love Lawrence Technological University's thriving campus life, but LTU has always met non-traditional students' needs too. Lawrence Tech offers over 100 degree and certificate programs that can get adult students started or back on track. And most of our classes are conveniently offered evenings at our beautiful Southfield campus or online, so you can balance your social, family, and work life even while you power up your career. Lawrence Tech, where Blue Devils